TCP and SSL load balancer. These are external load balancer, and we call it as a SSL proxy or TCP proxy load balancer as well. So typically, why you will use it when you have SSL or TCP traffic, and you do not have HTTP or HTTPS on top of it, then only you will use SSL proxy or TCP load balancer. SSL proxy intended for non-HTTP traffic. For HTTP traffic, you just use HTTPS load balancer. SSL load balancer proxy at global load balancing layer. So this is again a global load balancer. SSL connections are terminated at the global layer and then proxied over balance to the instances across the backend via SSL or the TCP in the backend. While choosing to send the traffic over unencrypted TCP global load balancer, the instances enable you to offload SSL. So typically what it happens is your SSL configuration happens here in the load balancer, and then the internal communication is plain simple, and then you don't have to worry about those configuring those inside it. That is for SSL. Components, usually it has got a health checking, backend services, SSL certificate and key, and global forwarding rules, and this is same as of HTTP load balancer you can think of. It is just addition that SSL certificate for SSL. Benefits, it has intelligent routing, better utilization of virtual machine instances, certificate management, security patching, and it supports all these ports. Rejection or invalidation, it rejects the invalid HTTP request or response. Negotiate HTTP 2 and SPDY 3.1. You want to actually go ahead and look at it if at all it is required. I'm not sure it is required right now. Spread the request load evenly among all the instances. HTTP load balances each request separately, whereas SSL sent all bytes from the same SSL or TCP connection to the same backend instance, and that is actually a connection on, right? And for HTTP, it is like each and every request is a separate, and you need to put forward session affinity to have those requests done. I'm not going in details of the demo for SSL load balancer. I just walk you through some of the terminologies which we have it. So to create an SSL or TCP load balancer, you just go to network services and load balancer and create load balancer, and that's where you choose either TCP or the internal. And in TCP or SSL or TCP, right, this SSL proxy or TCP proxy, those are like external, and you can have it either single zone or multi-zone. So what is that I want to do? It is from internet to my VM, only between my VM. So if I say only between my VM, that is an internal load balancer, that is you can treat it, right? Whether it is external facing, internet facing to VM, then you can actually choose this one. You can select multiple region or single region, and again you need to provide the name, TCP, and backend services. And again, this is like TCP, you have to select the region. I'll go US West 1, and existing instance group or existing instances. You can actually directly give the direct instances. I can just go ahead and create one example for you guys to understand. It just looks at the this is a part of instance group, and I think not yet deleted. Okay, I'm just creating one instance, and I'm not bothered about anything else but this traffics. Okay, I can actually add additional thing here and attach it. The only thing which you need to make sure that you have enabled additional network tags to enable TCP traffic. Okay, I'm not doing it because I'm not going to create it. I just wanted to show you that when you create an instance, it will appear there in the load balancer. So create load balancer, start. Okay, continue. I would say TCP or whatever SSL, right? Load balancer, region, whatever region, and select an existing instances. Let me see where I have created. Where I created the instance. I think it's US East 1 region. So US East 1, because that's how it will look at the instance. And pool failure, health check you want to put it, session affinity you still want to give it, front end configuration same, TCP LB, and then you can either choose premium or standard. What do we mean by premium? I should have actually explained it. This will actually take all the traffic all the way near to your user using Google Fiber. Standard means this can take traffic anywhere using public internet as well. And then you can just give port here and then done, and then you can just create a click and it will be created. I do not have anything installed and I'm not intending right now to do full demo for SSL, but that's in nutshell SSL load balancer is. Internal load balancer. So regional internal load balancer. Load balances between your internal to your virtual VPC. Internal request stay internal to your VPC network region, likely resulting in lower latency. Internal load balancer work auto mode VPC, custom VPC network, legacy network. Internal load balancing can be also implemented in regionally managed instance group. This allows auto scale. So in nutshell, what we are saying here is it is an internal load balancer internal to your VPC. So the traffic stays within GCP, Google Cloud Platform, and it uses fiber if at all it has to use the fiber optic network connections. Restrictions internal to GCP, you cannot have hop to IP manually configured route. You cannot send traffic through VPN tunnels to the load balancer. So within it is within the GCP ecosystem. Limit maximum number of 50 internal load balancer forwarding rule is allowed per network. Maximum 250 backend is allowed per internal load balancer forwarding rule. So you need to make sure that you understand it. So the way it works is typically if you look at any internal load balancer in large corporation or your own, there is a client request or client instance get hop onto load balancer, and this is physical device, and then the request is routed back to the backend. But in case of Google load balancer, internal load balancer, it is just proxying. So once the connection is established, it is talking to the backend services seamlessly, and there is no hop here in internal load balancer. So if you look at a typical way how it works, you can have actually regional backend services, and this is the client instance talking wants to talk to US Central 1A instance, backend instance, or 1B, and then it is using the load balancer to go back. Selection algorithm here. By default, internal LB use 5 tuple hash. Client IP, client port, destination IP, destination port, and protocol, whether it is TCP or UDP. If you want to control how the traffic direct to the backend, you can use the following affinity. So hash 3 tuple and hash 2 tuple. Client IP, destination IP, and protocol, or just client IP and destination IP. Health check, you can still go ahead and configure TCP health check, SSL health check, and HTTP health check, and this is what we saw already. So multiple health checks are available for you, and depends on the load balancer which you use it, you can choose the health check. An internal load balancer, if we look at this overall architecture, this is the internal load balancer. This is within, you can actually already see this is within your GCP and not talking to any other external services. External load balancer, in the other word, balances load between system based on incoming IP protocol data such as address, port, and type. Network load balancing uses forward, and this is common for all your load balancer configurations. It is just given for your understanding and not just to repeat it, because many of you will just refer to the slides when you study those topics for the exam, and you should have it ready, and that's why I have actually this repeated theory everywhere. Network load balancer is a pass-through load balancer, and it does not have any hop to the connection. Terminologies, again, load distribution algorithm, target pool, session affinity, health checking, firewall rules, and network and load balancing. Some of the concepts on connection draining. So usually you can enable connection draining, and this is not critical for your exam, guys, but just for your understanding. Okay, so if you enable connection draining on the backend service to ensure that minimal interruption of your user when the instance is removed from the instance group, either manually or by the autoscaler. To enable connection draining, you can set timeout duration during which the backend service persists the existing session being handled by the endpoint on the instance that will be removed. The backend service preserves the session until the timeout duration has lapsed. Okay, and we have seen and configured these numbers as well. Typically you can have the duration between 1 to 3600 seconds. Load balancer pricing, it is very straightforward and very plain simple pricing. So for all regions, all load balancer, you have 0.025, which is like cents, 2.5 cents, 5 rules included, and 10 cents, actually 2.5 cents, 5 rules included, and 1 cent per additional rule. And GBs that will be processed by the load balancer will be 0.8 cents per hour per GB. Auto scaling, we saw the concepts of auto scaling, usually instance group, that's where we configure auto scaling. This allows applications to gracefully handle the traffic and reduce the cost when the resources require lower resources. You just define auto scaling property in autoscaler performs auto scaling based on the load, and there are different parameter requests per second or the CPU utilization. The terminology which we used in auto scaling is instance template, instance group, and auto scaling policy, which is attached to instance group. So the policies which we can use for auto scaling is CPU utilization, load balancing, serving capacity, stack driver monitoring matrices. You can actually trigger auto scaling based on Cloud Pub Sub queuing workload. Some of the notes, auto scaling only work with managed instance group, and managed instance groups are not supported, and we saw this already in compute service. Do not use compute engine auto scaling with managed instance group that are owned by Google Container Engine, and Container Engine manages its own auto scaling. So we just need to make sure that we are not doing anything tweak there. Okay, usually if you want to understand what are the instances created by compute engine, it is GKE as a prefix. You can find it for all those instance group or the instances as well. We do not have much of demo left right now for a load balancer, guys. Whatever we saw, those are the demos for the load balancer. If you have any question related to any of the demo or theory part, let me know. Otherwise, you can actually move to the next service. Thank you.